Hey guys! Oh my gosh, that was cheesy. Hey guys, so today I'm doing a city chatty video and this is my top 10 makeup picks. And that title's a bit specific and I've not done it as specific as some of you may like. I've thrown in a few brushes, a few non-makeup items, but they're just like my top 10 most recommended makeup based items. So without making the intro too rambly, let's get right on into the video. Right, so I'm doing this in an order, I promise. The first thing is this foundation. This is the Rimmel Lasting Finish Foundation. I don't know what I was about to say. I can't get my words out. This is a great foundation. It's like medium coverage, I would say. I don't think it blends that well with a sponge. But then again, I'm not that spongy sort of person. I don't like using a sponge. I much prefer using brushes. But this is really blendable. I don't actually wear foundation that often. I know that all in my makeup tutorials I put foundation on. I really don't actually, because I only wear it when I like to experiment with makeup. I don't wear that much makeup out unless it's, I don't really know. I guess I do, but I like experimenting with makeup. I don't feel the need to cake on foundation every day, so I don't. But this is a great foundation as far as foundations go. Gosh, I don't know what I'm saying. It's a good product. I don't know how else to explain it. It's good. Then something that I would use to blend that in with, which is my favourite brush at the moment. It's very new, but I've fallen in love with it. This is the Sigma Round Kabuki. If you didn't know, Sigma is quite a high-end makeup brand and the brushes are quite pricey. It is just so fluffy and so dense. It's like the perfect combination of soft, fluffy and dense, like, if that makes sense. It's just a great kabuki brush. Does anyone else do this? Like, even though they're not putting anything on their face, they'll just swipe their brushes all over their face, because I do. I actually didn't pay the full price for this, but it's so worth it. I would pay £24 for it. It's such a good brush. I just think kabuki brushes are the most useful brushes. You could probably apply powder. It'd be very difficult, but you could. Then this next item is something that, if you haven't heard of it, where have you been? This is the Collection Lasting Perfection Concealer, and I am definitely one to go with the hype. Well, I try to anyway. I'm usually late to the party. I've repurchased 3 already, and I only started wearing it like last autumn. It's really thick, so it's got very high coverage and is great for under eye circles. And even though some people don't like heavy coverage with their concealer, I personally really like this one and would highly recommend it to anyone starting out or just anyone in general. My nose is shiny. I feel like covering the shininess up. Okay, I'm just stuck with a red nose, and now you probably didn't notice it, but I noticed. So like I said, mine is in the lightest shade because I use it to like highlight my areas sometimes, and I'm quite pale anyway. I'm like porcelain in foundation. Not as pale as my friend who is a calico, which you probably haven't even heard of that foundation shade. It's like the palest shade that exists. Shout out to you, calico. So powder is such a hard thing to get right because I don't like cakey powder. So like the Rimmel Stay Matte or MAC Studio Fix, I really don't like cakey powder, especially over foundation. I don't like cake faces, basically. So I quite like a dewy finish because I find matte finishes are really hard to get without looking cakey. So the powder that I really like is the Max Factor Cream Puff Pressed Powder. This is like my favourite powder. Like, this was the first powder I had, and I'd experimented with other ones and none of them are as good as this one because it doesn't mattify your face. It just sets everything in place. I know no one recommends this one. I don't think people have heard of it. I love Max Factor. I don't know why people don't rant about it more. I think it's probably because it's that awkward level of price. Like, it's not like high end and it's not drugstore. It's like mid-range. And this powder in particular. Next thing is my favourite product. It's my favourite thing. It's my favourite thing. It's just my favourite thing. If someone asked me, what's your favourite thing ever? It'd be this. This is the Sleek Contour Kit. You will have heard me talk about this because it's like the only good bronzer and highlight I own. Sleek is my favourite. Sleek is amazing. It's like, oh, so good. So this is what it looks like inside. Mine's the light shade, so the highlight's quite light and so pigmented. And then the contour's not too dark because you don't want to wear like a black contour. You want it to be sort of like a shadow. So that is just a very beloved palette of mine. Then to go on to my favourite highlighter, this is the Benefit High Beam. It's a mini. Yes, I get it. Get over it. Okay, I don't have that many high-end products. I'm only 13. It's really glowy and it really just gives your cheeks a nice look to them. It's liquid so that when you pat it out, and it's just very shiny. It's got some pink undertone, like when you're wearing a lot of blush, and I just love it. Like when you go for a really intense contour and you've got this on top, it just makes your cheeks look so glowy. I've said that about 10 times. I'm not very good at describing things. I should probably not have done this video. Next is a mascara that I was so stubborn against. I feel bad, even though it is a makeup product. I feel bad that I was so negative towards this mascara because it is not by Max Factor, and I was so strictly Max Factor before I bought this mascara, which is the Maybelline Lash Sensational. I think it takes a while to get used to, especially when you're like me. Max Factor are the only people that do good mascaras. It's thickening, it's lengthening, it's colorizing. This is an intense black, so it's going to be really, really black. But it's not false lashy. It's like really just nice. And it is moving towards being one of my favourites actually, and though they do stand out for me. Next thing I should have done earlier but I didn't. This is the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. Like I said, it's also dense, but this one's a lot more dense than the Kabuki brush. I think it's great for blending in concealer under the eyes. It's so dense, it's almost like a sponge, but it's not. It doesn't have that sort of ness to it. It doesn't have that sort of soaky, spongy feel. It's just so dense, and I don't know what I'm saying. Real Techniques are sort of the best value brushes because they could charge so much more because they're so good, but they're really affordable. Like this was £9.99, so this was £10. Next are lip products. I tend to experiment a bit more with because, like they say, it's either your eyes or your lips that make a statement. I prefer to do my lips. So these are a couple of my favourite lip products. These are the Sleek Matte Me lipsticks. I don't know which shade is my favourite because they're both good for different looks and things. So this one is in the shade Birthday Suit, which is a nice pinky toned nude, and I just wear that when I'm not feeling as adventurous. And this one is the shade Vino Tinto, which is incredibly purple. It looks a little bit red, but it's not. Like, if you have it, you'll know that it's not as red as it's showing up in the camera. I wore this in my April favourites video and people were like, oh, the red lipstick looks nice on you. And I was like, it's not really red. It's only in this lighting that it looks red. Something that I've been getting into, this is not a product by the way, something I've been getting into is trying eyeliner. I'm hopeless at winged eyeliner or cat flicks and stuff. When we do good eyeliner, we call it the Bethany eyeliner. Sorry about that. That was totally irrelevant. Just a little shout out. So the final thing is the Makeup Revolution Pro Fix Setting Spray. So I just recommend setting sprays in general, just to set your face in. And I would recommend it because it sets your face in and it makes it hydrated, which is something I look for because a lot of setting sprays, because once you put powder on, and even if it's not a matte powder, your face does tend to look quite matte. This brings back the hydration in it and sets it in. So it's just a win-win, really. Makeup Revolution is actually really good. Like, I think they do a lot of dupes. I think that's their main goal, to be dupes. Like, my English there was great. Like if you didn't know, they do eyeshadow palettes which are similar to Too Faced, Urban Decay. So it's a great brand and this is a great setting spray. Highly recommend. So that was the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Comment down below your holy grail makeup product, something that you would recommend to everyone. So I know and that people in the comments know. And I will see you in another video. Bye. Bye.